everybody. Welcome to another episode of Chamber Chat. I've got a very special guest in the car with me today. I'm going to let her introduce herself, and we'll kick it off from there.
Good morning. I'm Lynn Wiles with KRVM Community Radio 91.9.
We should actually be playing music and listening to the station in the car, but that would kind of mess up with our Chamber Chat.
Okay.
KRVM, you've been working there for how long now?
This is my 6th month, so almost half a year, which went really fast.
And every time I talk to you about it, you love it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's one of my favorite jobs I've ever had.
So what do you do?
So I am the underwriting representative, marketing rep for Lynn and Benton counties. So KRVM is based in Eugene. It's a very unique radio station in that it is based in a high school, Sheldon High School.
That's right.
The Eugene School District, so I'm a Eugene School District employee. But we reach up here on the airwaves to Corvallis, Albany, Lebanon area, about to South Salem on FM. But we're also streaming at krvm.org, so people can listen from anywhere. And our listenership has been growing here in the Mid-Atlantic Valley
That's right.
for the last few years. And so along with that, they wanted to grow the business membership. So my position is a new position. And I do the marketing for underwriters. We call them in public radio rather than advertisers.
Right.
But it's the equivalent of advertising. So I am bringing on new business members to the station.
So you go, and so the stuff that you hear in between, songs and other stuff, those are all your guys.
That's,
or at least some of them.
well, some are Paul's, my boss. He's our
Right.
development director, Paul Schwartzberg. And then there are several underwriting reps in Eugene, but I'm the only one up here in Corvallis,
Nice.
Corvallis area.
Now, I didn't realize that the radio, and this is kind of a weird question. I didn't realize that the radio, I always thought, hey, we've got Pandora now, we got Spotify, we got all these online stuff. Radio is still big.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's not a weird question. People ask me this a lot. So, yeah, we do have a lot of streaming services out there, but radio is still king in the car, as Paul says. So people listen to the radio in the car.
Yep.
A lot of our listeners listen at home. Public radio listeners tend to be very loyal. They like the fact that we don't have long commercial breaks.
Right.
Our messages are NPR style, so they're more subtle. They're just the facts, and then we're right back to the music.
Just neutral stuff.
Yeah.
No craziness.
Right.
Well, because also these online streaming things, it's a huge revenue generator for them. So that's why, exactly like you said, unless you want to pay the premium price for no ads or whatever, you play a couple songs and then it's like 15 minutes of ads.
It's usually about 6 minutes on average, which is a really long time.
Yeah.
And our message breaks are the longest ones per underwriter are 25 seconds, and sometimes we'll run 2 or 3 of those back to back, and then we're back to the music. But still, you're at a minute and a half.
Yeah. So it's not very long.
No.
So, and then with the, obviously it's all localized. So when you hear something, it's not about some big national brand. It's about a local pizza store or whatever it may be. Uh-oh, we got an ambulance coming by.
Uh-oh. Boy, you are really good at multitasking.
Well, it was just like, I was watching, there was a police officer right there.
I noticed him.
Yeah, and I was like, what? I'm getting pulled over?
Oh, no.
I've never been pulled over on a Chamber Chat.
Touch wood.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. So, so you've been doing it for 6 months. What do you like about it?
I really like talking music with people because I am an audiophile.
Okay.
I love getting engaged in conversations with people. Let's go back to what you were saying about local, because that's mostly true. But we do have some underwriters who are larger, regional or national businesses. So, and then they have, local.
Right, but it's not somebody who you wouldn't have heard of.
Absolutely.
Somebody or a big chain over on the East Coast.
Yes, exactly. Right? And most of them are local, regional, many independent businesses, and places like, say, Taco Bar. Taco Bar is in Eugene and Corvallis, so they're one of our underwriters. And Footwise is in Eugene, Corvallis, and Portland. They're one of our underwriters. Those are some examples. But so I do love talking music with folks. I am working on a couple of the music stores locally who are interested. And then we can go way back to, you know, roots of rock and roll and blues and who we've seen live.
Yeah.
I do like to mention something that's a surprising fact about KRVM, because it is a smaller independent station.
Mention away.
It is the oldest FM station in the Pacific Northwest.
Is it really?
Yeah, it started in 1948.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, and the V is for variety, right?
Variety.
So
Keeping real variety in music.
yeah, so you guys actually, and I was only familiar with the stuff that Paul plays, but you play all sorts of stuff.
We play all sorts of stuff.
Do you have a favorite?
My favorite
apart
is...
from Paul's stuff.
I do have a few favorites. Paul's stuff is kind of rockabilly and yeah, rockabilly, but he likes a lot of old school punk and things like that, which I also like. But I'm a real rock and roller, so I do like classic rock, and we play some of that. But my favorite shows on our station are midday, like now, with adult alternative album oriented music. We play lots of new music as well as some older things, all mixed together. And one of my other favorites is acoustic jam. That's on weekend nights. It might be Friday and Saturday. I don't have the whole program guide memorized.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of music.
Yeah,
so
it's a lot of music, and we're 24/7,
Yep.
and there's something for everybody. Breakfast with the Blues. There's a global music or world music program.
I mean, it literally is something for everybody.
There is.
So you mentioned that it's in Sheldon High School, right? And so how does that relationship work? I mean, is it where you can get students to become involved? I mean, that's got to be pretty cool too.
Absolutely, it's very cool. So our studio is at Sheldon High School, and in normal times we have a radio class, and we have students in the studio. This fall, we hope to bring students back into the studio, but since the pandemic hit, a few of our students have been recording from their home studios, set up home studios.
Oh, really?
That's
cool.
Their programs are still on the air. So in the studio right now, there's only 3 or 4 people who hang out there all the time.
So if you're a student, is it like a class, or it's like an internship sort of?
It's a class, and there's kind of an internship deal at the station too. They've hired a few students who were interns and who were Sheldon graduates. But the really cool thing about the radio class is some students sign up for it just thinking it's going to be easy, or because they need an extra, curricular credit or what have you. But so many of them, we have the testimonials, just get a lot out of it that they never expected. So even if they never go into radio, which is kind of a tough business, it's it's very competitive, and the live job opportunities on radio have been shrinking over the years because so much is automated. But we do have live disc jockeys, real people doing the programming and stuff, which is great. But even if the students never go into radio, they build confidence, they build their communication skills, their speaking skills.
When you don't have to be on-air talent, right?
Exactly.
There's jobs behind the scenes too, producers and stuff like that.
And I'd like to mention that a lot of these students who graduate from Sheldon High School come up here to university at OSU or to Lynn Community College, and they become...
The better university.
Right. They become...
Wait, are you allowed to say that because you work down there?
You said it.
But I think you nodded. Well done.
I'm actually a platypus myself.
Oh yeah? All right. Well, that's unfortunate. I wish I'd known that before we agreed to do this. But that's cool. So part of the cool thing about Chamber Chat, obviously we want to learn about KRVM and the jobs you do and so on and so forth. But we also want to learn about the people behind the business, right? So it's not just about, the logo on your shirt or the building or whatever. We want to know about what makes you tick. And so if it's cool, can we spend a few minutes talking about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I do this kind of thing where I'll fire off questions, to you, kind of like a speed round. But before I do that, you've had a heck of a year.
I have.
Which I know you are quite open about talking about, which I think is awesome. Why don't you tell the folks that don't know, how's your year been?
Oh, goodness. It was a year to remember.
Yeah, go back about a year. Is that about a year?
About a year, yeah. July 31st of 2020, I had a massive heart attack without symptoms that I recognized. So I only had subtle symptoms for about 10 days, and I thought it was COVID stress and anxiety. And my previous job was being defunded because of COVID. So it was all very stressful, and I had some tightening in my chest, but I had other weird symptoms, and a lot of women tend to have weird symptoms like tingling arms, both arms though. My hands hurt. I thought it was just from texting. I had two phones then, a work phone, a personal phone. Anyway, I went down at my home.
Like literally just dropped.
Literally dropped. My husband was right there. He remembered CPR from decades ago when he was a lifeguard in college.
That's good.
And he did it, and he had called 911. He did CPR. Our neighbor, who happens to be a physician's assistant, saw the commotion, and because actually the ambulances were coming down the street by then, and she ran over. She relieved him briefly. The EMTs came in, but neighbors say there were about 8 of them.
You don't remember?
I don't remember it.
Right.
I don't remember anything until I woke up in the hospital later that same day. But what happened was my heart attack was so big that it put me into cardiac arrest. So my heart actually stopped, and it was stopped for 7 minutes. So at 10 minutes, you don't come back. So I am literally a walking miracle.
So, and I know, like I said, and I wouldn't have obviously brought this personal up if you hadn't been open about talking to it, which I think is great. I mean, I sincerely mean that about it to anyone who will listen. You're a big advocate for, you've said this many times at greeters and things like that, listen to your body.
Yes.
Right? And
stress is never worth it.
Yeah.
Because stress kills.
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't lucky like me. There's nobody there with them, or there's someone there who doesn't know CPR.
Well, if your husband hadn't been there, we wouldn't have been having this conversation.
I would never have survived. So even my cardiologist and my team of doctors have said how lucky I am that I had an unbroken chain of care. So my husband, then the neighbor, the EMTs, they rushed me from Albany, right, from here where I live, over to Corvallis Regional Samaritan Medical Center, who has a cath lab and a cardiac team, and just an absolutely amazing cardiac team.
Yeah.
And they, came out and told my husband, who couldn't come in the ambulance with me because of COVID, who got a ride there with the neighbor.
That's right, yeah.
Who called our daughter, who was just going to duck down into the valley of the Sandy River and would have lost her signal a minute later. My husband got a hold of her on the phone. She and her boyfriend turned around on a dime outside of Gresham and drove all the way to Corvallis. They had to take turn seeing me because of COVID. But anyway, the cardiac team had told my husband I had a sudden cardiac arrest. That's what it's called, SCA, sudden cardiac arrest. And that if it hadn't been for him, there would have been no reason for them to be there either, right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
He started the chain of care. They finished it by putting a stent in my heart. It's a double stent, 2-pronged, that is.
Yeah.
Not 2 stents, but a 2-pronged stent. And my blockage was 99%, and it was in the LAD, the left anterior descending artery, which they call the widowmaker, or the widower maker in our case.
Dang.
I know, and now I don't have any symptoms.
Feel normal? You feel fine?
I actually feel better than before,
Really?
because I'm in cardiac rehab, and I have a really good heart diet, and I work out all the time. And I'm just, again, it's miraculous. My cardiologist, my main cardiologist now, says I have a tiny little shadow on one wall of my heart. That's all she can see.
And your husband now has the ultimate argument settler.
He does.
For the rest, forever. Right? That's got to be great.
I saved your life.
Yeah, well, I mean, are we really? Do I not win this argument?
Well, he has never done that yet. Only jokingly, but actually, my husband has a lot of PTSD from it. It was really scary.
Well, I was imagining, yeah, it's got to be kind of traumatic.
Very scary, very traumatizing. I was blue. I had what they call agonal breathing. Those are your last breaths. I was doing that when your lungs are just sucking for air when you're dying.
Dang.
And know if I was going to make it.
Well, yeah.
Until I was out of, critical.
So two things here. One is exactly like you keep saying, listen to your body, right? If it is stressful, people have stress and there's, good days and bad days, but that was a little different.
And
also,
if you have tightening in the chest, it may be your heart.
Yeah. Also, learn CPR.
Yes.
Please learn CPR, right? And it's, I'm sure most people kind of know the CPR, at least sort of how it works, but it's pretty important you get it right.
It is. It's important you get it right. And he did it so well, and so did the neighbor, who, of course, is a physician's assistant, that they kept me...
they kept you alive.
Okay, well, the thing is, though, I really was dead. I was clinically dead, and they brought me back to life. They all did. But, sorry, I lost my train of thought. With the CPR thing, you've got to keep doing it. I mean, it's exhausting. So you can't just do it for a minute.
Yeah.
I had CPR done for 7 minutes, and they had to use the AED. The EMTs had to put the AED to ultimately start my heart again and put it in rhythm. But between my husband and the neighbor PA and the EMTs, they didn't even break a rib. Which, often when people do CPR, they break ribs, and then it's worth it because your heart starts pumping again.
Yeah.
But my ribs were bruised for months. They were, but that's okay. I'll take that.
So take a CPR class and listen to your body. That's the bottom line here.
Yeah.
Okay, speed round.
Okay.
Let's get on to some other things here. Best place you ever been?
Oh my gosh, I've been to so many amazing places. One place I love in the world that's not too far is Astoria, Oregon. I think it's amazing how the mighty Columbia River empties into the Pacific Ocean right there. It's a huge, wide mouth of a river there, and you've heard about the Columbia Bar with the ships.
I used to live in Astoria. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's
cool.
a beautiful place.
It's a cool place. It's a very, very cool place.
Jamaica, we went there for our honeymoon. I loved Jamaica. I'd love to go back.
Yeah.
I love Hawaii. But I've probably told you I've never been across the pond. I need to.
No, you haven't.
Because my grandparents were British.
That's right. Scottish, were they?
English. My paternal grandparents were English.
Okay.
In Manchester.
Oh, that's cool.
But both sets have some Irish and Scottish.
Well, that's very cool.
Yeah.
With all the genealogy now, you can find all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, my daughter did that. My daughter did the 23andMe, and there's a lot of English in there, and then some Irish, Scottish, German, Jewish.
You're all over the place.
We are.
Kind of like mutts.
Western European mutts. Yes.
Bucket list place. You haven't been yet. Where do you want to go? Apart from Europe.
Great Britain.
Yeah,
because those are my.
Let's say for vacation.
Ancestors.
Not family.
Okay.
Anywhere.
Well, somewhere tropical, especially right now. I would love to have just more moderate, warmth rather than this heat.
Crazy heat.
Crazy dry.
Are you more of a?
I would love to go to Bora Bora. Or.
Are you more of a go on vacation and just lay out and do nothing, or are you like, hey, we're going there and we're going to do hiking, and then we're going to do this and we're going to do? Or are you like
both?
Drink on a beach?
I'm pretty active, especially these days. My husband and I love to walk for exercise, so we do like to hike.
Yep.
Hiking is walking in the woods.
For sure.
And but my latest thing is paddleboarding. So we're going to North Lake Tahoe in the end of September.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, the end of September, and I'm planning to do some paddleboarding there. Really looking forward to it.
Okay. All right. Desert island song. So if you were stranded on a desert island, and this is music, so this has got to be good, right? And you can only bring one album with you, or one band.
One album or band.
Who's it going to be?
Boy, it would depend on the day for me to answer that question.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, today then. Today. Who would it be today?
Today, I would answer with Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, even symbolically, if you were stranded on a desert island, wouldn't you wish somebody else was there?
Being miserable and alone with you?
Yeah.
That'd be good. Is it Pink Floyd or is it that particular album?
I love Pink Floyd. I love that particular song. I used to be a camp counselor supervisor, and all of the supervisors put that song together to sing to the counselors before they left for the
cool.
for the term to go back to high school, and so that song is near and dear to me. I love the way that we did that. It's just acoustic guitar.
Yeah. Favorite food?
Sushi.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I love sushi. Do you have a particular one, or any and all?
Some places call it rainbow roll, and some call it ocean roll.
Okay.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah, the salmon, the tuna, the avocado.
Everything.
Yeah.
Chuck it all in. Do you have a favorite sushi place?
I do, and it's actually called TU Delicious. It's inside IGA North Albany Market, which is one of my underwriters.
Wait.
And it's just a gal who leases the space there. Her name is TU Delicious Sushi.
Hey, I live in North Albany. Go to IGA all the time.
It's right there, right when you walk in to the right. She has excellent sushi, very reasonably priced.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
I've been going there for like a year and a half now. Huh. That's super cool. Worst thing you've ever eaten?
Oh gosh, probably dairy that had gone bad. I don't do much dairy anymore.
That's probably good.
Or red meat.
What about a meal? That's like bad dairy. That's not that. What about an actual something that's cooked properly but tastes awful that you never would eat again?
I eat a lot of things.
Are you a picky eater, or you're good?
No, but I just have to be careful about salt mostly.
Oh yeah.
And things that are deep fried and red meat and these things that
Those are the best parts.
I know.
Those are the good things.
But I wasn't a big red meat eater before, so probably like I got some weird prime. What do you call that? Not prime rib. Yeah, prime rib, and it's undercooked to me. I couldn't believe it. I thought, how do people eat this? It's like you can barely cut it.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah, that didn't turn out well.
If you could meet somebody in history, who would it be? Somebody who's dead, not family, or my great grandfather again.
Yeah.
No. Somebody famous from history.
Albert Einstein.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How come? Well,
because he was a genius, and he was not only like a left-brain genius, he also had a strong right brain. He was a great appreciator of music. He was a believer. He was a person of faith who said that science simply cannot explain everything, and that there is a God, or there is something because of which there is not nothing. And I love that.
Wait, you said what? Say that again.
He said, "The great something because of which there is not nothing." Like the creator.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was a religious dude, or
he was
of faith
spiritual,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the dude was seriously smart.
Seriously.
I mean, he had some wicked smarts.
He had some chops.
Yeah, he did. What about someone who's alive now?
Who I would love to meet?
Yeah. Again, kind of in the famous type person.
Yeah. I would love to meet many, many famous musicians who have great stories to tell. Like,
well, you got to give me one.
Stevie Nicks.
Oh yeah.
She's one of my idols. Yeah. When I was younger, that's what I wanted to be, like Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't want to have had to go through her drug problems and all. Just because she's up there on a stage and she's an amazing songwriter and singer. She has such a distinctive voice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's a rocker. I mean, she's just a badass woman rocker. Like the gals in Heart and Chrissy Hine. And I mean, I really admire those women.
Oh yeah, for sure. How I mean, music is obviously not just part of your job now, but it sounds. I mean, you brought it up like 3, 4, 5 times. Mm-hmm. So it's obviously played a big part. Did you listen to a lot of music as a kid, or was it a family thing, or
Very
is it just
much both? I am one of those people who, back in the day, was listening to the little FM transistor radio in my bed at night, picking up stations from like Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
I was in
That's
LA.
where you're from?
I'm from LA originally.
Okay.
I was picking up a station in Houston, Texas from LA because at night the FM signals came in better.
Yeah.
They probably still do. I don't really know how that works. I'm not a radio engineer.
You might find that out.
So yeah, I'll ask Paul. He'll probably know. He's done every single job in radio, everything.
Yeah.
Owned a station.
He's a cool dude.
Disc jockey, program manager, development director. Yeah, went up on the roof, fixed the antenna, everything.
If you won the lottery tomorrow, after doing all the sensible things, right? Putting some away, retirement, blah blah blah, all the boring stuff. What would you do? What would be your one indulgence?
Well, for an indulgence, it would be different than giving some away, because I would certainly want to help other people.
Yeah, Good stuff, blah, blah. Yeah, nice stuff. Yeah, cool. Everybody's going to help somebody. I got it.
No, I would.
What are you going to buy that people are going to be like, that's ridiculous?
Oh, okay. I would travel around the world. Not literally everywhere. I don't need to go everywhere in the world, but I would do that dream trip to...
Bora Bora.
Yeah, well, the tropics, and then I'd want to go to UK and other parts of Europe.
What are you going to buy?
Thailand.
Come on.
So then,
get to the point.
My husband and I would do is if we won the lottery, which we talked about a lot, because we're expecting to win soon.
Yeah.
Is buy a nice RV, not a huge one, but a nice smaller one, and travel around this country.
That'd be cool.
And so I've been around this country with my parents when I was 16.
Yeah.
Do you think I wanted to go around the country with my parents?
You probably did not appreciate it the same way.
And my dad said, "You'll thank me for this later," and he was right. So.
You know, it's funny you say that. That is my thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely, it wouldn't be a simple little camp.
Yeah.
I would buy a ridiculous, like a house on wheels.
Right.
And
well, you already have a pretty good rig.
Oh no, this thing would be, it'd be mental. But, and I would get the kids tutors.
Yeah.
Pull them out of school for a year and just do exactly what you just said, just tour.
That is a great idea. So the thing about us getting a smaller RV, is that we're really hotel people these days.
Okay.
So we would travel around and we'd stay in it sometimes, but then I would love to stay in really nice hotels.
A nice bed and a shower.
Eat really nice meals.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Last question. A bit of a longer one, sort of. This past year, well, for you, it's been great. I mean, you're alive.
So
that's good.
August 3rd. Yeah. And I came home from the hospital.
But I'm talking the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It sucks big time.
Everything sucks.
It does.
However, you know, we try to be a glass half full kind of guy. What has COVID taught you, meant to you? How has Lynn come out of COVID? There's some good things here. What do you learn?
I love that question, and I appreciate you being a glass half full guy. I try to be glass half full.
I haven't always been, trust me.
Yeah,
but, you know,
it's been harder this last year because, as you said, everything sucks. Just about everything does. I mean, the weather, the fires, the pandemic.
Oh, I forgot about the fires. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I've gotten a lot out of it though. So one is just what things are really important, and part of that was my cardiac arrest also, but family, really good friends, really great connections like we have with Corvallis Chamber Readers. I love this group of colleagues that we have.
We're doing a cool work.
And as well as Albany, Lebanon, there are just great people in these communities down here in the Mid-Willamette Valley. So I appreciate the area where we live and all the recreational opportunities, all the water we have around.
Yeah, so you can get out because you can't go do anything with anyone.
Yeah, we just went to Newport again last Saturday. We love Newport, Depot Bay, Waldport, But also I really had an opportunity to get even more into music than I had for a long time. My husband is a great appreciator of music as well. So we've been, spending so much time together at home alone. We've been exploring all kinds of music from the past and up to the present, and I've learned about a lot of different, musicians and bands.
It's almost like we did a chamber chat the other day with Sarah Whiteside from STEM Hub, CT Sub, and she mentioned something along those lines. It sort of focuses you right on what's important to you for one, and then just kind of like all the noise and the clutter that you thought you'd miss, but you didn't really miss.
It's true.
It's kind of weird, and I know it's cliche about things will never be the same, and some things won't be, but it's even the minutia things like how you do your job.
Yes.
Things like that.
Yeah, I even appreciate just having a new home office. My husband got a AC window unit put in there because we don't have central air, but we do have now a few different window units, including in my new home office, our daughter's old bedroom. She flew the nest a few years ago, and she's in Portland. And so I really do, and it does sound cliche, but it's so true. When you're that close to death, it puts a whole new perspective on life, and I'm very grateful for every moment. I'm grateful for little things that aren't so little.
Yeah.
You know, just being able to get to a place where I can stay cool, literally, and do my work and
It's pretty cool.
read. I've become an even more voracious reader. I'm just reading like crazy, and I love reading a lot of the rock and roll musicians' autobiographies. Right now, I'm in Joe Perry's from Aerosmith. It's a great book.
Yeah.
Really well written.
Did he write it himself, or it's about him?
My husband doubts it because these folks, they don't name their ghostwriters, but I think sometimes I think these people are so creative anyway. Why couldn't they write?
Yeah.
I mean, they write lyrics. Why couldn't they write a book?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I hear you.
But anyway, it's a good one. Chrissy Hines was really good. I've read them from biographies too, not always autobiographies.
Yeah.
Tom Petty and Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell's one of my favorite artists of all time, and I just read a great authorized biography of hers.
That's cool. So you get to focus in on what's important.
There is an accident or something up there that might be why I don't know.
This is very helpful for the people who can't see it on the video.
Okay, just letting you know.
Hey everybody, you should see this. It's super cool. Well, no, hopefully
I'm just
it's an
letting you
accident.
know we may not want to go that way.
Oh, we're going this way. That's Fred Meyer.
We're going?
Yeah, we're going to turn left here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying we're going this way. We're gonna see what's going on.
Well, we're gonna take a look at this accident.
Let's be rubberneckers.
Hopefully everything's okay. Oh, it's a tow truck. We're good.
Okay.
Hey, I want to thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
It's been super cool.
It's been really fun.
I love doing these things, and even like I said, we've been friends for 18 months now, and I still learned something new about you today.
You've been with the chamber more than 18 months now, haven't you?
I just had 2 years. Yeah, but I didn't know anybody.
Right.
First
You came in right
yes.
before.
I came in 6 months, and then we shut it down. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was awesome.
Well, I appreciate everything you've done.
Well, it's cool. I get to get out and I get to meet people, and now it's nice to be able to get back out, although things are getting a little weird again.
They are. But we're both fully vaccinated.
Yep, we're both good to go, and we're not breaking any rules doing this. So,
right.
Thanks for doing it.
Thanks, Simon.
And we'll see you guys on another episode of Chamber Chat. See you later.